We'll call the Troy Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, March 13th to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. McGarry?
Here.
Mr. Wolke?
Here.
Mrs. Ehrlich? Here. Mr. Titterington?
Here.
Mayor Oda? Mr. Emmerich?
Here.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Here.
There's a quorum.
Okay, first item, we have the minutes from the February 28th meeting before us. They've been sent out for review. Is there any corrections, comments, or revisions? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion for acceptance.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are accepted. Okay, first item of business is the proposed changes to the zoning code in reference to the downtown riverfront overlay district. I know Austin's been working pretty feverishly on these. Do you have a report?
We need to remove it from the table first, please.
Move to remove it from the table.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay. Austin, do you have a report?
Yes, sir. So this was at our last meeting, and it was tabled due to the number of members that were here. Nothing's really changed in the report. Has no additional information is really needed, but we're really requesting two major alterations to the underlining zoning districts that affect the DRO only. When we're doing our analysis for the B1, B2, and B3 districts, we found that there were quite a bit of uses that really do not meet the intent and desire of our downtown and boundaries that support the downtown. The first major alteration is what we're proposing is an additional permitted uses list for properties that have the B1, B2, and B3 zoning classifications that are a part of the DRO overlay. Exhibit A highlights each use specifically with the existing and proposed. For alteration number 2, we are just removing 9 uses from the B3 Central Business District. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission provide a positive recommendation to City Council for the proposed zoning code changes as a result of the analysis of the uses in the DRO. And we're also not recommending a public hearing as it's required at the council level. And that'll conclude my report.
Okay. There is a requirement for a public hearing at the council level.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay. Just want to be sure of that. Yeah, I compliment you on your work you did on this. After digging into it, it's certainly one of those items where you once you get started, you better not be disturbed. Having to work it through. I think you did a very good job if you contain all the information. Is there any questions or comments for staff?
Mr. Chairman, this may be redundant, but as I understand it, some of the reasons we're removing some of the permitted uses is not because they're inappropriate, but because they're redundant. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. There's a handful of uses that are inappropriate for the downtown, part sales being one of them. Some other uses such as rooming houses and rescue missions, paint, glass, and wallpaper retail sales are redundant. They're specific uses that are covered by other uses and other definitions.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
I understand that, I apologize for not being here last meeting, but I understand one of, if not the primary reason for tabling at the last meeting was concern about what the mayor and I, whether we had reviewed this and what our opinion was on it. I appreciate that, as well as Ed. Also, I won't speak for Ed, but I can speak because I have talked to the mayor. We talked at length about this, and both of us are fully on board with this recommendation.
I don't have any. I'm supportive of it.
Okay. Any other comments,
Move for approval, move for positive recommendation to council.
Public hearing.
Public hearing.
Oh,
Wait, first is, item of,
I will move that we not have a public hearing.
I'll second that.
roll call on that.
Mrs. Ehrlich,
Yes.
Mr. Titterington,
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich,
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer,
Yes.
Mr. McGarry,
Yes.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
Motion is adopted. The commission will not hold a public hearing.
Move to recommend positively to the Troy City Council.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to provide a positive recommendation to council. Roll call, please.
Mr. Titterington,
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich,
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer,
Yes.
Mr. McGarry,
Yes.
Mr. Wolke,
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich.
Yes.
Motion is adopted.
Okay, next item is the preliminary plan application for the reserves at Cliff Oaks, a new single-family subdivision on Federal Road. Staff have a report.
Yes, sir. So this subdivision really encompasses 3 parcels of land that are currently undeveloped, and it's located north of Edgewater. The proposed subdivision consists entirely of single-family houses. It's a total of 58.798 acres and has 136 buildable lots that range from .207 acres to .527 acres. There's 2 access points to this development. Finner Road is the main entrance to the subdivision, and then Parkview Drive will be continued from Edgewater. The developer is proposing to provide private open space for the subdivision instead of public parkland or fees in lieu of. That did receive a unanimous approval from Park Board at our last Park Board meeting. A 40-foot utility easement is being provided on the east of the subdivision to provide the utilities to this subdivision. These will be the responsibility of the HOA to maintain, and staff recommends that Planning Commission accept the proposed preliminary plan as it is in accordance with the zoning code, subdivision regs, and other engineering design standards. And that will conclude my report.
Okay, that little wedge of land that's marked park, that's going to be just a homeowners association.
Yeah, private park, and then on lot, I believe it's 168, the 3-acre parcel with the pond will have a walking trail around it. And both of those items were approved by the park board.
Cool. Okay, any other questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, has the administration stayed in touch with the school board in terms of the impact of all these new subdivisions?
We have, and our last conversations with the schools stated that they can withstand the capacity.
Any other questions or comments for staff?
I'll move for approval.
Have a motion for approval?
Second.
Have a second? Roll call, please.
Mr. Emmerich,
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer,
Yes.
Mr. McGarry,
Yes.
Mr. Wolke,
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich,
Yes.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, number 5, is the final plat and right-of-way dedication for Halifax, Section 7, Halifax Estates. Have a report?
Yes, sir. In 2014, approval was granted for the preliminary plan for Halifax Estates. The applicant now is requesting approval for the final plat and right-of-way dedication for Halifax Estates Section 7. The section encompasses a total of 21.171 acres with 20 buildable lots and 1 drainage lot. The zoning for this section will be R1 single-family residential. The 20 buildable lots will range from .919 acres to 2.878 acres. The development in this section will dedicate 3.722 acres of public right-of-way for the streets. Staff recommends that Planning Commission provide a positive recommendation to City Council to accept the proposal of the final plat and dedication of the right-of-way with the condition that the escrow agreement is completed prior to going to the City Council. Section 7 is in general accordance with the approved preliminary plan. And that completes our report.
Okay, yeah, and as I discussed earlier with Austin, that one, oddly configured lot is the drainage lot. That'll maintain, that's gonna be what, maintained by the homeowners also?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, comments for staff?
Just a general one, I should know this. How many sections total are there?
This should be total build-out, right, Frank?
Last one.
Does the commission wish to take action?
I'll make a motion for a positive recommendation to city council.
And I'll second that.
With the condition.
Yes.
Escrow.
Yes, the escrow condition.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to provide a positive recommendation with the condition that the escrow be provided to council beforehand. Roll call, please.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay, now we have the next item is the final development plan for Halifax Village and Patio Homes Phase 2. Staff have a report to provide?
Yes, sir. So, when we saw this development last, we had actually done Phase 3 before Phase 2 with a couple of amendments in between. Phase 3 shifted the clubhouse that was in the northeast corner where this is down to the southwest. So this is finalizing Phase 2, which is the last section for this build-out. This will include 21 buildable lots, which will total about 1.1 units per acre. And then 36% of the development is open space. Access to the development will be by North Market Street. The planned development does have the clubhouse and does meet the required 10% open space. And staff is requesting that Planning Commission approve the final development plan. And that'll conclude my report.
Okay, again, this will be the final phase also for,
Yes, sir.
for this portion of the work. Okay, any questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, as I understand, this is in the Miami East District, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
I hope the purchasers will know that.
Gotcha.
Not sure if you want to elaborate on why that.
I know your kids were in the, no, they didn't go to Miami East,
Yeah,
did
they
they?
did for a while, but, I mean, a good school system. It's just, I think everybody over there knows that that's pretty much all Miami East over there, yeah. Yeah. I thought maybe you were gonna talk about the population and, whether it's gonna impact the school kids, but.
No, but, we've had occasions where we've approved subdivisions which were much closer to certain schools than others, and the buyers didn't always know that, and, have been disappointed in some cases. And I'm thinking not necessarily school districts, but specific schools.
Okay, does commission, wish to make, take action on this?
Let's see, what kind do you need? Move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion to approve in a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Motion is adopted.
Okay, next item, right down the street, is the Halifax Villas Planned Development Phase 2. Have a report?
Yeah, so this is the same phase, really just the recordable format of Phase 2. Staff is requesting that Planning Commission recommend approval of the record plan to City Council.
Okay, do we have any comments or recommendations from staff or from the commission?
Make a motion to recommend approval for the record plan to City Council.
We have a motion,
Second.
we have a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay, next, item number 8 on the agenda is Troy Christian Schools Plan Development Minor Amendment for a, ticket booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, report?
Yes, sir. So Mike Twist, owner of MT Studios, requesting Planning Commission to consider a minor amendment to the general plan of the plan development as approved by City Council. It was ordinance 043, 2021. The requested minor amendment is for the addition of a new ticket booth, but also for an archway that enters the stadium. The structure will be used for admissions and ticket sales to sporting events held at the field. The ticket booth will be constructed using a split-face block, metal fascia, and a single-slope metal standing seam roof. The size will be approximately 107 square feet. The archway will span 18 feet wide and include an overhead steel structure supported by split-face block pillars. The Troy Christian Schools logo will also be incorporated into the design of the archway. An important note, they will submit a separate application for the signage portion of it. The total height of the archway will measure 14 feet 4 inches, and attached to this report was a full set of plans. This minor amendment may be approved by the Planning Commission without the submission of the revised general plan to City Council. Section 1145-17 of the City of Troy zoning code does not require a revised final development plan to be submitted. Staff recommends the Planning Commission approve the minor amendment as requested, as the amendment will not have any negative effects on the planned development or adjoining properties. That will conclude my report.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
so we are not considering the design of the sign, just the building and the arch?
No, because Mike Twist,
Yeah, so Mike Twist, informed us that they'd be coming back with the actual lettering and how that's gonna look and the
Okay.
size of that.
So approval of this would not include with the sign?
That would not include the sign.
Thank you.
signage.
Yes, sir.
This does include the structure though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we will have to approve that part of it later?
Yes.
Any other
Why
questions
I asked?
for staff? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minor amendment. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay, and item number 9 on the agenda is a minor amendment to the Troy Storage Plan Development on West Main Street. Staff have a report.
Yes, sir. So this amendment is really just changing the phase boundaries of this section of phase 2. You'll see in the phase T, in the middle left of the, S3 document, that will include 2 building additions and then the outdoor storage component. All the landscaping that's within these phase boundaries will be included, so the outdoor storage will be appropriately screened from West Main Street. Staff recommends approval of the minor amendment for the Troy Storage Plan Development with the condition that all landscaping is installed as a part of this plan development.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments for staff?
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion for approval and a second. Roll call, please.
With the condition,
Pardon me?
with the condition.
Yes, with the condition.
With conditions.
Mhm. Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay, last item on the agenda is the Troy Storage Plan Development Minor Amendment for signs.
Yes, sir, so this is, additional, the applicant's requesting additional signage on the front of Building A and Building D. On Building A, the app is requesting 32 square feet of signage that reads the phone number for the development. On Building D, the applicant is requesting 28 square feet of signage that identifies the web address of the development. Staff does recommend denial of the additional signage request due to the following. The intent of the sign code is for the principal building to have the signage. The principal building in this case, when it was initially reviewed, is the main office building that has the architectural features in the front. This development has multiple buildings, however, that main office building is really the intent of the principal building and what's designed for signage. So staff does recommend denial for this request. And the applicant is here if you have any questions.
Now, if we follow through and deny his request, what are the alternatives for him? Then come back with signs that are appropriate on the single building?
He already has signage on the single building.
Mhm.
He just would not be permitted any additional signs on those adjacent buildings.
Okay.
And on the cut sheets, you'll see what they look like. There's also pictures of the tip storage facility that'll look very similar to what his request is for.
Is there additional space for signage on the main building?
I don't know if he's at capacity. I would have to check on his current allowance.
I have a question. So this additional signage faces a different direction than the main building?
It faces Main Street. It's the same direction.
So you'd be able to see both signs if they were there from Main Street?
Yes, ma'am.
If this was submitted with his original request with the original building, the signage, would it have been recommended by staff, or would it still been denied based off of it being on multiple buildings?
It would have still had the same recommendation as we're presenting.
Okay, what's the wish of, commission?
I'll make a motion to deny the request.
Second.
We have a motion to deny and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Emery?
No.
Wait a minute,
Is that,
Okay, if you are supporting the motion,
Yes.
and the motion was to deny.
yes.
thank you.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Motion is approved, application is denied.
Okay, is there any other business?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
just wanted to clarify something on the record that, about last, meeting, because three of us were not here. I will, speak for only the mayor and myself, since she and I talked, but Mr. Westmeyer did not. I did not speak to him before the meeting, but, just to let everybody know that, we were not here at the meeting, on other business, separate places, not together. And so that's why we missed the meeting. I only bring that up and wanted it to be put on the record because there was a rather outlandish assumption or theory that we were trying to avoid at least one item, not the DRO, topic that was on the last agenda. As a matter of fact, she and I had spoken about perhaps tabling that item so that we could be here. Of course, she knew she wasn't going to be here this time, and the two of us decided, well, we wanted to keep the process moving along, and so we did not want to delay anything by 2 weeks by tabling it so that at least I could be here to discuss the issue. It was a rather routine issue. It's the roof issue, on the, West Main Street, building stabilization project. And so just want to make it clear that, you know, we did not want to delay the project. We knew we weren't going to be here, and so, kind of glad that issue's off the agenda.
Well, if the source is a comment that I made, I was joking.
It's not.
Okay.
It is absolutely not, no. It was, actually, among other places on social media, which I know is not the best resource, but, nonetheless, I wanted to put it on the record. Thank you, that's all.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I speak the same. I had a planned vacation months ahead, that I wasn't able to attend, so I wasn't skipping on purpose.
Was it Paris?
It was.
You took Paris over the...
Yeah.
That's Paris, Ohio, right?
Thank you, again.
On one more note, at our next planning commission meeting, it probably will be a little bit longer, but American Structure Point's gonna be doing a presentation, really current updates where we're at with the comp plan, so, prepare for it to be just a little bit longer, okay?
Thank you. Okay, we have
Move to adjourn.
Second.
a motion to adjourn in a second, all in favor?
Aye.